Namaste. We are Tark.
Siddhant Dhoot. Hitat Dunn.
Meet Lalwani.
Siddhi Bhardwaj.
Tanya Navlani.
Rajesh Menon.
Across the sweep of Indian religious history, there are five major tensiles that have given shape to the concept of Hinduism: doctrine, practice, society, story, and devotion. Tark in Hindi refers to rationale, meaning there's always appropriate reasoning and justification behind each step that we take. In a market filled with uptrends, downtrends, and unpredictability, we stand by our core principles that are responsible for our future success.
The first tensile. Society is about how in a social structure, each individual has a great particular job. Likewise, we at Tark devote ourselves to act as the true pillars of this foundation.
The second of the five tensiles of Hinduism is doctrine, as expressed in ancient texts, the Vedas. The three tensions of doctrine are the ethical duties, the work, and the intent. Similarly, we've transferred our knowledge and understanding into three main components: client case study, market correlation, and monetary policy.
Considering Nicole's age, experience, financial condition, and goals, we have measured her risk appetite to be high. She must have separate short and long-term strategies that will enable her to provide the scholarships as well as create generational wealth for her nieces and nephews. She can invest up to 85% of her capital in equity and 10% in liquid assets, such as treasury bonds and notes, while maintaining a 5% cash reserve. Since we are technically a goal-based fund, parking some money in bonds will help compensate for any correction in equity or negative externality, which could pose a threat to her existing investments. Lastly, she should set targets to preserve her capital. We recommend she shifts a fixed proportion of her money from equity to liquid assets after achieving these targets. Failure to do so exposes her to avoidable risk, putting the college fund for the nieces and nephews in potential risk.
Our research and analysis in the different sectors performed for months suggests that the US and Indian economies are not only the most fairly valued but also the most dependable ones. We have also invested in benefiting sectors from emerging markets. Our initial sector allocation is formulated by the perspectives gained from the market correlation theory, which helps us gauge the risk appetite of the portfolio. This will help us secure Nicole's funds.
Succeeding the Fed taper and the Indian taper that is plausible to follow, the high interest rate environment is likely to ease the rate of growth. However, Targ argues that besides a probable sector rotation, the Indian rupee will depreciate in the long term due to the existence of cyclical inflation in the economy, resulting in higher international trade volumes, as India is a nation filled with ample resources along with cheap labor. But to hedge the uncertainty of the performance of the Indian rupee, we have also invested in defensive sectors like consumer staples to create a well-rounded portfolio.
Each of the scripts from the given stock list had undergone a Sortino test, which isolates the downside volatility from the total volatility, which is an improvement on the Sharpe ratio, and a subsequent beta test is also performed. A stock is only considered for the T-score if it surpasses the threshold of 1 in the Sortino analysis. Made by our very own team, the T-score is a USP, which is a simple Java program. It awards points to a stock as it satisfies one of our many predetermined criteria, making it a complete package. The rate of return metrics were awarded relatively more points solely to meet Nicole's demands, besides higher dividends and greater returns on investment, which can fund the scholarship and college for her nieces and nephews with ease. Finally, we used the free cash flow and qualitative analysis for the shortlisted stocks to derive the final position of the companies.
Linking to the philosophical concept of karma, our practices result in the profits attained. The two important components of our practice are technical analysis and actual portfolio, and the returns are the benchmark and our revenue strategy.
Correct entry and exit points are often overlooked by investors. Our analysts create levels for better entry and potential resistances. In terms of indicators, we use the RSI and the 200-day EMA. The relative strength index helps us assess the momentum of the stocks in volatile markets. Also, the 200-day exponential moving average acts as a crucial support and is a good place to enter or add for long-term investors based on the EMA crossovers.
Here is a quick snapshot of all our positions with their weightage. 90% of our portfolio is in large cap trusted value creators, while we have invested the remainder in small and mid cap companies by scouting for budding companies with exceptional future prospects. The top 6 sectors account for approximately 10% of our portfolio. Our top 5 positions are as follows: Reliance Industries Limited, Vedanta Limited, Rolls-Royce Holding PLC, Bombardier Incorporated Class B, and Amazon Incorporated.
Turk intends to beat the benchmark returns of 8% adjusted for inflation given by the indices over the long term by at least 30%. Every quarter, we evaluate the portfolio in order to safeguard Nicole's capital. If the portfolio beats the benchmark for 2 consecutive quarters, or if the dynamic allocation of equity goes above 90%, we'll shift enough capital to bring the equity back to desired levels. This way, Turk manages the risk of overallocation to any one asset while also preserving Nicole's capital as her targets are met.
One of the major concerns of the clients, the firm's revenue model. Unlike others, our revenue model will not reduce your gains. Conversely, it will help sustain the business to earn even more profits. Only an annual maintenance cost of 1% of our AUM with the firm at the end of the previous year will be charged as a convenience fee. In the end, the firm's cut of 10% profits above the benchmark returns incentivize the analysts to keep working harder.
The story serves to articulate connections within the doctrine and our practices. For our case study, we've chosen Reliance Industries Limited, a behemoth in the oil and gas sector and disruptor in the telecom and retail markets with the unique business models and marketing genius. With a market cap of 13 trillion rupees, it is India's biggest company, giving direct employment to over 300,000 people.
What makes Reliance the captain of Nicole's dream team is that they understand the importance of mentorship, with its experienced management team consisting of 8 directors having more than 10 years of experience.
Consumer focused and innovation led Reliance Industries has been in consolidation since the past 1.5 years. After a slew of strategic investments in RIL, the RSI suggests that there are minimal chances of weakness in the stock. The 200-day EMA has largely acted as a support for the script, which it tends to outperform during most of the trading sessions, giving it a bullish bias. The technical analysis, along with the Fibonacci ratios, claim that Reliance could achieve an immediate target of 2800, while a long-term target of 3255 within the next 24 months.
Reliance's net income has been increasing despite marginally lower total revenue figures, which suggest efficiency in operations. Their cash flow has gone up thrice despite capital expenditures on green energy. Despite supply chain disruptions, Reliance Retail has been reporting consistent rise in EBITDA owing to their ingenious grassroots level connections with the grocery shop owners and digitizing their business through GeoMart and brand recall. The same is seen in other segments with margins rising in line with management expectations and the increase in tariff leading to more sustainable ARPU in the telecom business. With rising oil prices, we expect Reliance to present its highest profits this year. We believe the higher valuation than its industry average is justified by the fact that the stock demands a market leader premium, which is explained by the review of this company.
Reliance Russia's strategic alliance with Diego to launch wine at Reliance Retail's outlets aligns to Nicole's fondness in wine tasting. Cherry on the cake, Reliance offers massive benefits, including discounts at its retail outlets, to its shareholders.
RIL targets to become a net carbon zero company by 2035 based on their vision of clean and green development, which will not only provide the company with an opportunity to accelerate and develop a new energy business, but also best serve Nicole's ideologies.
Their O2C business, the biggest vertical, has been improving their operational efficiency and margins, leading to even higher profits and cash flow, fueling their aggressive M&A strategy and other ventures, furthering innovation and growth.
Reliance Jio's effect is accelerating the transition towards digital for the next 300 million mobility users, 50 million homes, and 50 million medium, small, and micro businesses.
The company's Reliance Foundation has helped improve the lives of millions by giving them hope and wings to their aspirations, which no one can understand better than Nicole, dodging the bounds of discrimination herself.
The last tensile that contributes to the divinity of Hindu experience through time, bhakti, which refers to devotion, is a connection amongst us which makes us who we are. To appreciate Nicole's goals, we primarily focused on empathizing towards her. Our varying standpoints may look like a matter of internal conflict, but that is exactly what increases the credibility of our work, as it helps omit every possible bias or missed out points worth consideration. Our driving force is our passion, which makes us better at what we are doing and worthy of Nicole. Pandemic stopped us from physically meeting, but finding a way out from every situation is what we offer with complete confidence. Turk not just offers a strategy like every other asset management company, it offers trust.
We would also like to take a moment to share our gratitude to the entire team of the Wharton Global High School Investment Competition, Aberdeen Standard Investments, for giving us this opportunity. It also goes without saying that we wouldn't have been able to achieve this if it wasn't for our mentor, as experienced and dedicated as ours, Mr. Pushkar Kothare.
Tark, we've got you covered.